In Packet Tracer 10.6.10, we will practice backing up configuration files from a router to a TFTP server. The background on this activity is that due to an equipment failure, a new router has been put in place. Luckily, the configuration files from the old router were previously backed up or saved to a Trivial File Transfer Protocol server, or TFTP server. You will be required to restore the files that were backed up from the TFTP server to the router to get the router back online as quickly as possible using the backup configuration. Then you will perform a new backup. First, we will establish connectivity to the TFTP server, then transfer the configuration file from the TFTP server to the router, and then finally back up the configuration and the operating system to the TFTP server. In part one, we want to make sure that the TFTP server is reachable so that RTA router can pull the backup configs that are stored there and are needed to get it back to its original configuration. Because this is a new router with factory default settings, the initial configuration must be performed using a console connection to the router, which is this light blue cable connecting PCA to RTA. So we'll begin by clicking PCA and opening the terminal and then clicking OK. That will put us on the console of RTA replacement router. And notice the host name indicates that this is a default configuration. Also notice that the connected links are currently down because the configuration hasn't been put in place yet. So we have to get this link up here so that we can connect to the TFTP server to get that backup config. To do that in 1B, this is the gig00 interface on RTA. We go into enable mode and then config T to get into config mode. And on interface G0/0, which is the one facing switch SW1, put the IP address that should match the default gateway for the TFTP server because RTA is the default gateway for this TFTP server. So if we look at the TFTP server desktop IP configuration, we see its address. The subnet mask is here, and this will need to match. They will need to have the same subnet mask in order to communicate. And the default gateway address is right here. So I will copy that and IP address, or add for short, paste in the IP address. And then you can type in, I will paste in the subnet mask. These are both in the same subnet. Now, that's not all we have to do. And we see here we still have a red triangle. So we have to enable that link, which is going to be disabled by default. So we use the no shut command to administratively enable it. And there's our syslog message telling us that that link has come up. Our green triangles confirm that. Now let's test connectivity to the TFTP server. We want to ping it 172.16.1.2 was the address that we saw. First, the router will ARP for the MAC address, but then the ping is successful. That completes part one. We can proceed to transfer our configuration file to the router from the TFTP server, which if I look on the TFTP server under Services and then the TFTP tab, this is the running config that was backed up from the old router. That's what we want to copy over. So going back to our command line, before we do anything, if I show run now, I see we've got a very minimal boilerplate configuration. There's really no configuration in here. We're going to change that by doing the command copy. And then our next step is, what are we copying from? We're copying from the TFTP server. So TFTP : space. Next, what is our destination? We want to copy that directly into our running config in RAM. and then hit enter, and it's going to prompt us for some more information. TFTP server IP address goes next. And then the source file name is what we just saw on the TFTP server. It's already in the instructions as well. You want to make sure that that's exactly correct so that it does copy successfully. Finally, the destination is running config. That copies very quickly because it's not a very big file. And notice what immediately happened with our host name. If we look in your document, your first question is, in B of part 2, issue the command to display the current configuration. Show run shows some changes. There's a host name, there's an enable secret, for example. Gig 0/1 now has a config, and our VTY and console now has some config added. So those are some of the changes that were made by copying the running config from the TFTP server. So you can just put a couple examples. Next, issue the appropriate show command to display the interface status. A good one for that would be show IP interface brief. Are all interfaces active is the next question to fill in the document. And the answer is no. Gig 0/1 is administratively disabled. Or you could say shut down, because we saw the shutdown command in the running config. Correct any issues related to interface problems, and then test connectivity between PCA and the TFTP server. Config T interface G0/1. No shut to administratively enable it. There's our syslog message validating our change. Show IP interface brief. And we see we have these green triangles on both links of router RTA. And let's see if PCA, go to the command prompt and ping the TFTP server. And yes, PCA can ping to the TFTP server. In part 3, we will make a change to router A, save the configuration, and copy it to the TFTP server. We're going to change the host name. So going into configuration mode, the host name is going to change to RTA-1. Make sure to type it exactly the same way as it is in the instructions so that you get your grading correctly. So our prompt immediately changes to verify that the hostname command took effect. Next, it wants us to save the configuration to non-volatile RAM. If you did a dir of non-volatile RAM right now, there's nothing in there, which means if this router were to lose power, it would go back to the factory settings because there's no configuration saved into non-volatile RAM. So to change that status, copy running config to star, and if you dir NVRAM again, we see that that was successful. So we now have a protected copy of the configuration in case the router does reboot. In part 3C, we are to copy the configuration to the TFTP server using the copy command. Copy the inverse of what we did earlier from running config to TFTP, enter the IP address of the TFTP server. The destination file name we will leave as the default. Press enter there. There is the indication that it went okay. We can look on the TFTP server, go back out and then back in to see the new file name there because it's not automatically going to refresh. And there is the file that was copied in addition to the previous config file. In D, issue the command to display the files in Flash. So the dir command and then flash colon. We see several files here. We're looking for the operating system file. We can see which one that is. That's the one that ends in .bin for binary, and it's got a typical iOS formatted name. We are to copy that so that there will be a copy on the TFTP server in case something happens to this copy. Copy flash to the TFTP server. Our source file name will be the full name of the binary file. If you copy that, just make sure not to copy any extra spaces. 172.16.1.2. And we want the destination file name to be the same. So just press enter. As we copy the file, we see some characters printed out repeatedly. And in our document, we are asked what special character repeatedly displays, indicating that the iOS file is being copied to the TFTP server successfully. So that is the exclamation point. That is printed every 10 packets or so to let us know the progress of the copy. Finally, we in step F are to open the TFTP server, click the Services tab, select TFTP, and scroll through the list of iOS files. Was the iOS file successfully completed? TFTP tab. If you scroll down, yes, it's right here. So yes, that is on the TFTP server. And that completes the packet tracer. If the completion on yours is not 100%, just click on check results and look for red X's to see what needs to be remedied. Please save your Word document and completed PKA file and drop both of those in the Dropbox. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.